Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute, this music isn't right, the scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time to the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good morning, Nevermorians. I'm your host with the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, coming at you over the airways on WNTF. Nevermind the Furthermore. Nevermind the Furthermore is brought to you with the love and support of our good friends over at the Independent Creator Directory. That's indiecd.org, your one-stop shop for the best and the brightest authors, artists, and musicians. We're also made possible by sales of the Simple Sword, the Fighting Axe, and the Simple Spear, all part of my ongoing series of Western martial arts manuals designed to help you go from having never handled the sword to teaching the art to others. Can we go back nicely? Thank you. And Hades and Hellfire, a dark secret has claimed 2 lives and is hunting an innocent child at the edge of the Appalachian Mountains. Only his aunt, a plucky reporter, her cameraman, and a very odd cat stand against the forces of darkness. Happy Monday, people. Yeah, I'm saying Monday. It is the last day of June, the 30th, 2025, and I'm coming at you live from somewhere in the land of Earl Park, where the corn grows high, the corn sharks grow large, and the slower members of our community have a habit of disappearing in what can only be described as a Night Valian spin of insanity. I find things out like we have a mayor. We have a dog park that you can't have dogs in. And while there are no minuscule drops of water in Stone Lake, there is always a welcoming pile of wood waiting for the worthy at the bonfire that never is seen burning, but always consumes what is put upon it. Friends, duckies, Romans, let's go over this weekend. This has been an interesting weekend for all of us. I was barreling down the road of getting things done. And it worked as observationally pretty well. However, my duckies, occasionally the world goes a little boink. And I, of course, am one the world likes to boink. Um, I had, as a surprise to my lovely and heartfelt uh, guildies, the Historical Fencing Guild folks who come out to sword fight bi-weekly, I called them together, and as a surprise, I was building a tent type object to provide shade so that perhaps we could fight without being fully incinerated by the blazing orb in sky. There was some debacle as I did not get all the parts that I needed to do said project delivered in time, but a valiant attempt was made in the heat. And that valiant attempt did not get received well, and there were some issues. And in the course of these issues, uh, Xander tripped over me, and we went for a tumble. The sort that decided my shoe no longer needed to be on my foot without untying it. So I twisted things in my lovely foot bad enough to the shock and confusion of my lovely wife when she got home to deal with some other stuff. Uh, I was providing proper and adequate medical care to myself. And no, I'm not saying I was saying I am fine and then obviously not being fine. No. This greatly troubled my wife because apparently I don't do that. And if it's bad enough, I feel I need to take care of it. Perhaps I needed to go in, which was, of course, poppycock. But it did mean that I went from bounding around merrily to, and now my foot is up and wrapped and in ice. Uh, the literal ice, not the organization. This greatly impacted my ability to do things. Now, to the point I had to cancel plans. I don't do that. I do not last minute cancel plans because I consider that to be bad form unless it's a major situation. But I did. I was able to delay them. And sadly, we could not have Joey or Trey. But it was for the greatest of possible reasons. You see, um, Saturday was an event of historic and very important uh, relevance, not just to the nation at large, not just to the mere world, but to you, my dear viewers. Saturday was our dear friend Joe's birthday. I do not believe in releasing the information of ages, but it is my hope and fondest desire that he had a great one. And despite everything, I did have Jim. And a huge shout out to James Robertson, who was up listening to me talk about absolute prattle till 3 in the morning after some rousing games of Magic and some very strange living room reorganization as I was in the middle of, doing all this. And I'm not quite as load bearing as I was before I started. So, my living room is in a state. Was I embarrassed? Of course. Was I mortified? Let's be honest, I was devastated. Oh, what's this? Ah, ah, I can tell people by Joe's notification, administration, well, that too. He has quote, I'll give you the quote. You can tell them I've cheated death for the last 39 years. LOL. And I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to stop right there because I did not have a heads up about the birthday. I'm supposed to get notifications of birthdays that come up. No, nothing till it was upon me. So part of what I'm going to ask you guys to do is go to indiecd.org, right? And look over its offerings, throw them a bone or two. I want to see and consider donating to his cause at indiecd.org/donations. It is a great way if you want to do something nice for Joe and you have funds to do so. The other update being in the middle of all this, the gentleman who services our water heater came out, looked at the date of manufacture on our water heater, and cursed violently, at least to himself. He did not, make a big scene. That there's no way on God's green earth that could possibly be broken. So he is raising heck. We are still without hot water. Fortunately, the lovely heat has been hammering us, so we don't mind overall chilled bathing situations. Alongside that, I was not lax. Friday night, in response to me having some time in the green room and just a fit of, hey, I want to draw somebody, I hammered out a quick sketch of a lovely person by the name of Emily Dugan and sent it to her because I do that. And she liked it, and that makes me happy because that means I made somebody happy. Over the course of some point, she asked me, do I take commissions? Now, this has been coming up more and more lately. I think this is a good thing. I do, in point of fact, take art commissions. I reserve the right to refuse them, and I do not do anything that would get me fired from future employment. That means I try to keep things relatively tasteful, nothing R-rated, these things. Not because I have a problem with that as an art expression, but as I've had a problem with totally harmless art being used against me in employment situations that I've had to defend, I'm cautious. But yes, I do take commissions, and I vary my prices greatly by how well I know someone, how pressing said commission is, and how interesting it is. So, Emily, if you're watching this on the far hand, reach out, continue. Let's talk. If there's something you want done, let me know. And if you're watching this and there's something you want done artistically, let me know. From the literary front, the debacles of last week have delayed my release for Rapid Rapier. I'm now aiming for the middle of July. I haven't hammered down an exact date, but somewhere around perhaps the 14th, if all goes well. I'm running much later than I wanted, but that's what happens. So, we can expect something like that. Why not, presently? Well, my friends, my duckies, my loves, lights in the night sky that is my life. The 4th, as I recall, falls mid-week. And there were minimal sounds of explosions and events going on Saturday. So I am expecting the 7th to be absolutely ludicrous. And the lead up to the 7th to be absolutely ludicrous with explosions and insanity. Very well. We will accept this. We will move forward knowing painfully that sleep, such as it is going to be damaged. So I'm giving myself some recovery time and a little bit of time to work on some of the projects that are mechanical that I'm working on, such as assembling my my beautiful throatless Beverly shear and finding a place to mount it, behave, and setting up my crank-powered grinder and finding an equally useful place to mount it. Again, behave, so that as summer progresses and the only time it's cool enough to do things is at night, I can engage in some metalworking stuff and make minimal noise instead of running power tools and being a bother. So I'm excited. I'm excited about that. I'm excited that we are very fast approaching the NERF program for the library, the first one. And there's already been discussions of perhaps a fall program involving NERF. Look at that. That's good, because if fall programs, expand, Mr. Tockert might even get some paid gigs. And if not, more NERF with the kids. This is win-win-win. So I'm excited about that. I am tired. I am beyond exhausted by my scale because I've gone a few days with in all honesty, I mildly dislocated it, which for somebody with hypermobility is not a big thing. I pulled a few muscles in the top of my foot from the way it rolled. Unpleasant, but not unpardonable. But it does mean that when I sleep and I roll, my foot lets me know. I also had the debacle of an electrical portion of my breathing machine getting very, very hot for no valid reason. And thus my 3 hours of sleep or so that I got last night into this morning was split. So I'm feeling it. While none of this is what I want. And it sounds like I'm complaining. I'm not. Because this is when we look at the situations and we go, is this stopping me? When things go wrong, is this preventing my my goals, my plan, my mission? No. Look, the people who are piled in the chat right now having a gleeful, wonderful day. To a person, are creatives of some sort. Again, authors, artists, musicians, crafters. If it's your jam, there's someone probably doing it. What's up? Now, all that being said, We all have challenges. And the vast majority of people in that chat had challenges they will never, ever discuss, reveal, or speak of in a public setting. They just get up and they do them. They take care of it because they're awesome. We must maintain our health. We must be reasonable and gentle with ourselves. We must allow for things like rest, for pausing, for dealing with things. But we must always view rest as an action. In game terms, I am going to take this turn for this round, and I'm going to rest. I'm going to delay this because tending to me now is necessary so that I'm functional later. And we all have to learn this. But resting is not the same as stopping. And it certainly is not the same as giving up or surrendering. No. Get that out of your heads. Healthy rest is a necessary step to the point where I'm going to complete my program, however long it takes. It's a Monday. I'm going to take whatever matters I have to take with Xander today. And then I am probably going to acquaint myself with a nap, because naps are wondrous, beauteous things. And I wish to formally issue an apology to every single nap I rallied against or I declined in my youth. Naps are beautiful. And then after I've rested a suitable amount, and I've made sure the necessary things are done, I'm going to carefully plan and adjust my activities around my current short-term limitations. And that's the difference. Sometimes you sit down and you can bang out a book in a matter of days or weeks. And wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It happens. But most of the good stuff, well, that takes a while. You made it months, sometimes years. And that's acceptable. As long as you're actively doing it. As long as it is part of your routine to sit and dedicatedly work on your creations. I believe in concepts that involve very much putting your money where your mouth is. And no, I'm not saying financial gambling. I quite oppose most forms of gambling, as they are stupid unless you are, mechanically assured you're going to win. But when I say putting your money where your mouth is, I believe in stress testing things. I could be a great author. I could write a better book than that. I could write a better show than that. And the whole of the internet is literally filled with complex, long-winded blather, utter codswallop, utter treacle matter. Yes, that is a horrific pun. I regret nothing. trifles of people who loudly beat their chest and claim superiority with nothing to back it up. Now, this is where my backgrounds overlap. I am something of a martial artist. I don't talk about it in that framework usually. I teach people to sword fight. I have for a very long time. I do adaptive stuff. There are a large number of people on this earth who can and would devastatingly kick my derriere, especially at their game. I don't go watching, a martial arts bout or a Bohart bout and go, I can take them. Unless I'm willing to try. And it runs me to you have to respect so-and-so and their art. I respect the dedication they put into it. But I don't believe in untested systems. If somebody says, this umbrella is windproof, I expect them to take that thing into a wind chamber, like a jet testing chamber, and find out just how windproof it is before they try to tell me that an umbrella is windproof. If it isn't, it is at best conjecture, at the most likely delusion, and at worst deception, either of self or others. This is why I encourage martial artists to cross-train and stress test. But Nick, we're talking about writing, not sword fighting. Exactly. This is why I encourage writers to write and publish. Not only for the greatness of getting their ideas out there and perhaps getting the stuff called money, which I am rather fond of, but it is a way to stress test your ideas. Now, when somebody mentions my writing, and especially my earlier works, and they say, well, this wasn't edited well, or you made these mistakes, or whatever, I accept it with no emotional backlash because part of it's true. I mean, I understand I am dyslexic, amongst other things, and that a great many of my things are written in devices that have autocorrect, and I lose things. And sometimes I just mess up. But I respect the cunning and elegance of the person who wrote the book. I believe it is called Woof, which is like 300 pages of what looks like a paragraph novel, but every single word is woof, the dog bark sound. Infinitely more than someone who has lacked the courage to take, pen to paper or, finger to typing. Yes. So this week, and I know I've gone on a long monologue this time, I ask you to decide. You don't have to tell me, because many of you have been doing this longer than I've been alive. But are you stress testing your work? Because if you're writing it and leaving it in a notebook in a folder and no one ever sees it, it has had no impact outside of you, which is fine. You can do things that are just for you. But if you're going to judge others on how they fight, you better get your feet in the sand of the arena. So this week, to the people who have been hesitant, quick to speak out about others, but hesitant to do it themselves. Buckle up, Buttercup. I am absolutely calling you out. Get to work. Write, produce, promote, publish your stuff. Or shut your raging cakehole. Because sometimes someone needs to talk about accountability, what you've done, what you've worked toward. And part of that accountability is, did you do it? Did you at least try to do the thing? And if you haven't, that's okay. Today's the day. If you are looking for a sign from the entire freaking universe to do something positive, to write your story, to do the art, to share it, to reach out to people, I'm going to tell you, congratulations, in the words of Bill Engvall, here is your sign. Fire up, people. And in response to my buddy, who will not be in live, but he watches these, I know you're out there, and I'm not naming you because I'm not that pissed. But I am saying, well, I did this, and 20 years ago I was doing this, and what you done lately? Those accolades of yours were never intended to hold your pasty butt off the ground. Okay? They're not for sitting on. You wear them, you present them while you're actively making more. So, on to you, whom I love, and say, from the bottom of my heart, with all kindness and support, my brother in carbs, put up or shut up. And if you want to find the finest people who have done just that, who have had the courage and the integrity and the dedication and the drive to put something out there to make the world at least more interesting, I know a great place to find them and a great place to join their number. To the individuals who messaged me asking, Nick, you okay? You kind of came for your pound of flesh there. Two things. It's barbecue season. And that means I need some meat to put on there. I will get one way or another. Let's get sizzling over here. And two, again, spoken with genuine love, support, and kindness in my heart, which is not always nice, because nice doesn't always solve problems. I was directly referring to one individual who knows who they are. That means if you're not sure, it isn't you. That being said, if me calling my buddy out for talking a big talk and not doing it, and being vocal about your potential but not demonstrating your capability, if that feels targeted, if that feels somehow directed at you, well, Cinderella, again, with all the love in the world, my dear Cinderella, if the shoe fits, lace it up and go for a walk, because many people are better than they're behaving. And I love them, and I support them, and I know things are hard, and I know it. But there does come a point where if you are going to be claiming you are skillful at something, you should be able to demonstrate some measure of being able to do so. And this is not said with malice. This is not said to accuse people of lying. It's quite the opposite. I believe that you are capable as an author, as an artist, as a musician, as a composer. I believe you have the capacity to put out meaningful, quality expressions of yourself that will run directly opposed to the AI stolen generative garbage. But it only works if you do it. So to each and every person who is in chat with me or in conversation or in passing said, I could do a better job. In the words of my buddy Ben Starkey, may he rest in peace. Proceed. So yes, Mr. Tockert has taken this Monday and come for absolute absolute blood, because you deserve it. I want to celebrate you. I want to hear about your accomplishments. I want each and every person, okay, in my chat, in that list that is scrolling the 100 and so comments I am behind. I want each of every one of them to become so monumentally, internationally successful that what I do currently would be deemed irrelevant. I want you to level up. I want you to grab your future by the huevos. All right? If you're that good, show me. And should you be suffering from imposter syndrome, Should you be sitting here going, well, I'm doing things and it's not so good? I remind you, you are on the other side of the glass from those people. Because to have imposter syndrome, you have to have done something. You have to have written something. You have to have drawn something. You have to have made something. You have to perform something. And that means you're not an imposter. Get over it. You are what you say you are, because if you weren't, why would I say you are? All right? All right. Moving forward, first through the door. 41 minutes in, it's going to be a late show, and my give a dang is thoroughly busted. It's Foxy. Good morning, Foxy. I hope you're having a wonderful day, keeping cool. We will not be. And dang it, Thesis, now that song is in my head. I have no idea what song it is. I just hope it doesn't involve Sherry Lewis. And that is a very old reference. But I started making it not knowing what it was. And now I'll continue making it forever just because it is the reference that doesn't end. Okay. Hi, Foxy. Hey, Carl. Yum. How you doing? Callie is interested in Nick's bird thumbnail. But why isn't it moving or tweeting? Foxy, this channel is boring. Here's one for you guys to take out of context. Are you not entertained? No, clearly not. The bird is not animated. Nick, it wasn't enough. I will do what I can. Pretty good when your art fool's a cat. Do, 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 do. The cat, probably. That's okay. Vengeance will be mine, cat! Good morning. Hello, Trelena, my dear. How are you? I hope you have had a wonderful weekend. Whatever you're at, having enjoyed and gotten into mischief with Joe and probably had tap house and probably eaten something that makes my soul rejoice. And you know what? I don't feel bad because I had a Reuben sandwich because we had good table delivered when Jim came over. And it was delicious. So, yes, it also means that when we have people over, if they want something more elaborate and we don't want to go to a restaurant, we have a restaurant that can come to us. That is, again, delicious. The wonders of not quite being as isolated as I'm used to. LOL, he might think so. Try. Callie, where's my Auntie Dawn? Inigo is trying to wriggle his way into it. I love when big dogs do not understand they are big. Just got back from Illinois. No, I'm sorry. Just back from laundry and second opinion on van. Might get a call from the second place during the show. Rock on. I hope it saves you money. If it's not working and you're willing to drive, I can get L&M's. They're out of Swanington, Illinois. Not Illinois, Swanington, Indiana. Carl. I look at Carl and my brain defaults to Illinois. And they have been our mechanics for several years now and have been quite reasonable. Foxy, sorry, only so much of you fits now. Yeah. Y'all. Good luck. Well, thank you, Foxy. Thanks. No, I know that was for Carl and hi, sweetie. I think it's adorable. Although every time Carl says hi, sweetie, I think of Alex Kensington and I get King's River Song. Her name is just crashing in my mind, and I refuse to fight it anymore. You know who I mean. And that is a lovely, distracting thought, because real life Miss Frizzle is a lovely, distracting thought. Moving forward, we've got greetings and hello, Thesis. I have to catch up on your stuff. Thesis did a discussion on stances and guards in the systems that he did, which means he now has access to a transcript, because all he has to do is say, download transcript from the video, and he has a rough draft on that subject already made. Nick, you rail against AI. A device, program, or other system that is taking what you wrote and taking it from verbal spoken language and putting it into text is not something I have a problem with. That is a godsend. Oh, that's a ting-ear sound, but that was oddly fun. I like that. My Foley work amuses me. Moving on. Hey, Trey and Thesis. Thesis, morning, everyone. Gets into the dawn conjuring pose. Tosses almonds. Anyone have any puzzle pieces? Xander did a puzzle last night. Xander did a 100-piece puzzle last night quite quickly, and I was very pleased with him. As an orange cat stuffy, nice. We can conjure churro too. I have some nougat made to look like nougat made to look like concrete. Churro, whom I love, wonderful, wonderful child, wonderful player, one of my favorite people. Every time I read your food-inspired name, my fat self gets hungry. And I could go for some churros right now. They are in the donut family, and I could definitely do that. LOL, probably some less crunchy. I see what you're saying. And healthier. Excellent. I get where you're going. Good morning, Mr. Hollifield. Or it will be when I drink my coffee. Blessed is the bean, bringer of life. The fact that coffee exists is definitely a sign that there is a intelligent design beyond creation, and on some level it loves us. And if you're looking for the next story that you need to love, well, you can go right here.
Hello, I'm Dan Hollifield. I'm the senior editor and publisher of Abelian Webzine, the world's oldest free creative writing e-zine since 1997. Since then, we have helped over 500 amateur writers learn what they needed to turn pro. www.aphelion-webzine.com and read not only what we've got going on right now, but 28 years worth of our archives of stories. Thank you very much.
Delivery? It's not delivery, it's just short note. Hey, pause. You know everybody loves you, right? And they're going to say hi, Xander, at the bottom of the chat, but it's going to be quite a while. You want to go play Halo?
I would like to play Halo.
Okay, you can play Halo. Standard rules apply. Play Halo Reach so you're offline. Okay? There we go. He had a tough weekend. He's being good. He gets rewarded now. And there is our love, Dawn. I have a lot of loves. It's almost like I have a lot of love in this world. And Dawn is, of course, the creator of her fashionable felines, Buddy and Georgette, who I've become quite fans of, and I need to do more Georgette and Buddy-based artwork. But I really want to depict Buddy as like this 1920s to 30s wealthy layabout. Maybe earlier. If you've ever seen Jeeves and Wooster, I think of Buddy very much as Bertie Wooster. As played by House, Hugh Laurie. Brilliant performance. Look it up sometime. Now, where are we? And Dan! Here comes the dawn. Or there is dawn. And we got greetings and greetings and greetings. And if I didn't say hey thesis, I hope you're having a good one. And hey Dan and Dawn. Slides over coffee for conjuring dawn. Ooh, look at Trey. Don't look that good and deliver coffee. It makes a man have problems. Nick, you're not drinking the pop. You're just hugging it. Yes. It's Monday and I'm operating on 3 hours of sleep. Glad I was typing that and not trying to say it. I am mangling things this morning. I understand. Getting confused over here, Dan, Dawn, and Donna. We need a Donald or Donald over. Thank you. Thank you so much. I am concerned the level of which the offense I would generate in communicating with that man would be. So yes, we could get somebody else in here. And Dan says, having to watch for deliveries for Lindsay today. I have a delivery coming in too. Yes. Apparently she ordered some perfume and she doesn't want it to be in the driveway too long. That is reasonable. One moment, please. Pinky's up. Now, one of my nephews calls me Donnie. Does that count? No, because I think that is a term of endearment we aren't allowed to trespass upon. Looks at our almost empty cup. Sometimes I call Dawn Donnie. Not confusing at all. I do. I don't even know why. I have a pup who's falling asleep chewing on his toy. This is the way. And Carl is on my way. Because my brain jumped, and I'm letting you in on this, from this is the way to Carl being on his way. Did I have the image of Carl putting on a Mandalorian helmet while the theme from The Mandalorian starts to play? Looking incredibly excessively tough, as my buddy Lito would say. On his way to get coffee for his lovely wife? Yes. He tanks hits. He tanks hits. Wow. Wow. Now that's a Freudian slip. He tanks hits. Wow. He takes hints well. Indeed. The good ones do. Woo. Oh. He tanks it. That delights me. I just imagine Donna throwing something down the hallway that says coffee on it. She's got one of those throw pillows that can be launched like a ninja star. I have one that just says Bears Beats and Battlestar Galactica. I know it is a reference to something outside of Battlestar Galactica, but I don't care. It was a pillow that said Battlestar Galactica. We have all kinds of finches flying around in the yard today. I wonder if anyone nearby knocked over a birdcage and is now cussing a blue streak. I don't know, but finches are delightful little birds. Like that first scene when Thor just throws a coffee cup on the ground and screams, "Ma!" Don't forget to like and share, folks. Donna knows you're subscribed. And Foxy says bonus points if Carl does a lurch impression. You rang. I can't do that without the bubble. And it could happen, Trey. And what else could happen with Trey? involves any number of well-placed tied knots. And while I could allow you to take that however you please, I'm going to elaborate. Let's get it, friends. Let us get it. Hey, Nick. Hey, Donna. How you doing? Don't worry. Today I'm keeping the mojo in the dojo. Because the great philosopher, Billy D. Williams, that's right, the Billy D. Williams, he postulated, agitated, and perhaps even excited just a bit, the mind's eye that the dojo needs its mojo, the way a man needs a woman. Anyway, aside from that prattle, hi, Nick. Hey, Foxy. What's up, Botrix? Somebody needs to remind me Wednesday when I'm doing my art show. I think I need to draw Botrix. We need to decide what Botrix looks like. Okay? Because old boy is in our chat helping me give content. And while we're there, I want to thank the folks. People are subscribing to me. I have subs on Kick. And you guys are amazing. It literally blows my mind because I've been on YouTube for like, I don't know, 12 years, something like that. Probably longer. It's been a while since I checked. And I've gotten not a cent from YouTube directly. I've been on Kick a month, 2, maybe. And I am making a nice amount. Like money that is a positive number is doing this thing called coming in. Instead of me hemorrhaging it like I played patty cake with Wolverine. So thank you all very much. I literally cannot do what I do without the support you guys give me. And getting the support means I can do cool things like keep renovating this and set up devices to do other cool things to amuse and beguile. And yes, to the person who said, Nick, do you play Minecraft? Yes, I do still play Minecraft. Nick, would you be willing to stream Minecraft? Perhaps. If there is interest in me doing a completely non-actually productive stream, arrangements could be made on a case-by-case basis. Radical librarian. Anyway, you call me Donnie? Dang straight I do. I've done that, Foxy, and too. I have, Donnie. Oh, okay then. That's right. Because you're being a very good girl, Donnie. So just sit down in the chair, rest while you can, and move forward with the motivation and elevation your status deserves. Now, accountability. Watch several videos on tuning my Chinese zither. Going to attempt to do it myself instead of taking it to the local music store. Rock the heck on. Mad props. I have a couple of my own musical efforts I need to dabble in again, especially since I found things I don't need and I shouldn't know exist, but do. There is an Etsy store that makes flutes. Their flutes would be better described as tin whistles. And they're 3D printed. And they're collapsible. So it's a little box this big with a loop. And you pull the thing out, it goes into a tin whistle. They have one that you flick out, it goes out both ways to give you a collapsible droning tin whistle, which gives you two sets of notes at the same time. The mix of musical interest and lust and vast amounts of annoyance that I can produce, it's delightful. Oh, I have a message. Oh, okay. No, it doesn't bother me at all because it's more connection. It's more something. Heck, it's something to talk about. Old boy's trying. So I got to draw bot ricks up. We just have to decide what kind of of depiction we want for bot ricks. I don't want to do what I have been challenged to do in the past, which was, Nick, you can't, turn blank object, concept, whatever, into an inappropriately attractive woman. After the great toaster fiasco of 2004, I was not challenged again after that. Perhaps. We shall see. I know I've been keeping my goatee trimmed down, and I have to because of my breathing machine. But I do occasionally have the desire to get a proper kung fu old man goatee down to about here with the strings. Get back in form and start, standing on the tip of people's swords when they come by, because that's believable. Moving on. I need to convince my brain to wake up. If I haven't woken up your brain in the last hour, I don't know what to do, my love. Okay. Well, the local music guy would probably have to watch the same videos. Indeed. You know what? Thesis. If you can do it yourself, you can take the money you would have spent on local music guy and either go down to buy more instruments or put that towards new swords and sword simulators. Ooh. You could also just use that money to encourage people to do this.
Hi, I'm Auntie Foxy, and I'm a crafting addict. I make custom jewelry from recycled materials, and Foxy has wares if you have coin. You can find me at indcd.org/about-auntie-foxy. I hope to see you there.
Yum. Okay. Now, where are you? Nick, you startled the job. Good dog. Captain Dyslexia rides again. Woohoo! Yikes. Hey, y'all. Churro in the house for an extended video. Sorry. It does mean I am stomping over the time frame for our dear friends Nita and Daphne, Mia Culpa, Mia Maxima Culpa. Go buy Daphne's Ego Raven stuff. I need commercials from them. I will bug Nita. Yeah, Thesis. I doubt the dude at the shop would know how to tune it. Churro, we were conjuring you up. Yes. Hey, Churro. Nope, but he very wants to see it. That's true, too. Hey, Churro. It seems to have worked. I yanked myself out of the little scenarios I made in my head for this. Welcome to the show. Now, Churro reached out to me asking content for next month's game. And those who know, those who understand, will understand how I responded. I invoked one of the great sacred intonations of my trade and my craft. One posed with a question. I want to do this. And a nice page, very well written, of what you want to accomplish. I had to open up the secret book of gaming and say, you can certainly try. That's right. You can certainly try. Those who know, know. Those can be consuming. Indeed. But remember, if you're going to have little scenarios in your head, might as well make them interesting. And if you're going to have delusions, make them really grand ones. Everybody has delusions. They might as well be satisfying. And Churro's greeting everyone, and scenarios in your head are only good if you can use them in a story later. This is the way. I may have to get a Mandalorian. I'm sorry. I just had visual matrixing from the Matchbox view of Joe that I have. Because he did a stretch. And I saw the motion just enough for it to partially block him out in spots. And for a sudden, violent moment in the corner of my eye, so to speak, it looked like Joe was suddenly wearing a construction-themed bikini top, and I was confused. It's one of those days. Can you tell the caffeine that's coursing through my system? So according to my morning email post office, the mystery package will be here today. Woohoo! We're expecting something from California, but we don't know what it is because neither of us has ordered anything. It's a small wonder. No, I am not doing the original Megan, Let's not and say we did it. Some sort of scam, Foxy. No idea, but we'll find out today. Do a recording. Let's all find out together. LOL. Good luck, Foxy. Be careful. I get emails about my Amazon delivery all the time, says Carl. I order from Amazon. I don't order from Amazon except twice a year. Amazon delivers objects to my home. And it doesn't cost me anything most of the time. It's like the Sears catalog of old, except much more expensive. Can't decide if excitement, dread. Hopefully it's at least a useful something. Use gloves, please. Maybe a face mask. I've got both. Happy late birthday, Joe. Happy something birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I need to get Richie in here for his famous Marilyn Monroe impersonation. Happy birthday, Mr. Bachman. Happy birthday to you. And birthdays only end when we claim them to end. So, yeah. I'm guessing it's a pre-order of something we bought and forgot about. Awesome. Buy an indie CD shirt! Yes! Do they have any V-necks? Or a tank top? Even better. Joe has gone, maybe. I have to check if I have something still. I have to check if I have something still. So just give me a moment. I have to leave that comment up so I don't lose my place, because I'm going to be digging around for just a moment in my media assets. I might not have it anymore. Oh, yes, I do. So, is there an indie CD tank top? Well, friends, we'll just have to discuss that in Nevermind the Furthermore After Dark, brought to you by the special line of Intimates by IndieCD.org. IndieCD. Be creatively independent in everything you do. That is the worst commercial I've ever come up with, and I love every millisecond of it, because it's really hard to get the dumbfounded look on Joe. Drawing of Emily. Can any pervo order one of those? I would require permission from Emily. Oh, wait. Let me. Are you ready? Are you ready for the request, sir? Or did you pop in by chance?
Happy birthday, Mr. Bachman. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Rich. And yes, someone use your vile internet skills to clip that and send the file to Joe so that he will always know that he is both loved and, in moments of desperation, you know, it might not be his proudest use, but you take what you can get. Enjoy your last year of not being 40. And so, yes, I'd have to have permission for something like that, but relatively pervo things can be arranged. And independent creator directory shop dot fourth wall. Oh no, I'm getting a message here. I'm not even going to tell people you're doing that. I'm just going to let that one hang. I believe Joey has hoodies and t-shirts, but talk to him. He may be able to expand his inventory. And FYI, the PJ drawing was a huge hit. Thanks, Nick. Victory! And folks, just so that you know, I was commissioned by Dawn to draw her in her bedroom attire. Successfully so. Put that into your little minds. You could always buy a tee and alter it, Foxy. There are so many amazing ways to do sorcery to t-shirts. I might. True, Churro, if I was better at sewing, I'm passable but not good. But I practically live in tank tops. And now, for no reason whatsoever, an ad from one of our sponsors and associates. I really wish I hadn't run her video already, but we're just going to... I'll be right back. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I got sent a notice from my buddy Sterling. And it was of one of his latest tattoos that he did. And it's a back piece of an incredibly intricate Cthulhu kind of situation. Absolutely divine. And we have some more comments. Oh, that's beautiful. Watching what's going on in the chat is delightful. Let's go through some more comments. That's understandable. I'm not super good at sewing either. Perhaps we can arrange that. I wear tank tops basically whenever I'm home. Well, that should be comfortable for you, and everyone should be comfortable at home. Hey, hawking shirts. And then Thesis's merch is up. Same, Churro. I overheat so easily that wearing anything else is asking for trouble during the summer. And Thesis responds with, it's summertime. The only time I wear a shirt is when I leave the house or appear on camera. Me too. Even most teas make me feel like I'm going to pass out. Well, with the temperatures that's reasonable. Would love not to wear anything, but I have siblings, sadly. Let's be safely modest in our current situation. Dawn, I hate my arms, so sleeveless is still something I shy away from, but will in public occasionally. A lot of people go through that, and there are a couple possibilities. Especially for toning, if that's your thing. And I mean this wholeheartedly, Dawn, because I mean, you got to remember, I was 400 pounds not too long ago, and I still have a little bit, but sword drills will do wonders for that area. It'll take a while, but they will do wonders, and even if you don't get the outcome that you want, if anybody says anything, you have been drilling how to hit things with a sword. It is a win-win. And don't hate anything on yourself. It might not be doing what you want, but don't hate it. Appreciate my arms for the things they still do. And I fully get that too. I used to despise, especially my right leg, because of how badly it works. But I will take badly working over not working any day of the week. I'm sure you're lovely, Dawn, but if it's that big an insecurity, sheer cardigans are nice. That's an excellent thought too. Sheer cardigans are wonderful, and if only you knew people who could crochet very airy, lightweight things or flowy pool cover-ups. Those are good too. I have an abundance of cover-ups to go. Well, as long as you are happy and comfortable. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Chris. We pause for the squee. Oh. Hi, Chris. Wonderful. Just making sure you're still staying cool, especially with how awfully hot it is this year. I love that you are being that caring an individual. Churro, well done. Hi, Chris. And there's the squee. Naps are amazing. However, I tend to take far too many. I either don't sleep at all or sleep like a cat, on and off in 2-hour intervals. I suffer from extreme insomnia. Especially when I'm stressed. And I can't do a lot of things that would address that because of some of my other problems. So it's something I have to pay attention to. And in all honesty, accountability, transparency, I have not been tending to my sleep schedule like I should as an adult. That is my failing. but you also are young and you have a lot going on, so be gentle with yourself. Goodness, it's already 92 degrees outside. Fun. Stay cool, Dan. 92 degrees, youch, indeed. AC ready to activate. It's 82 indoors. I will tell you, I can't. I cannot, for any length of time, have it be 80 degrees indoors. I start to get violently ill. Like, it is not my jam. So please be careful. And 72 here so far. It is currently 80 degrees and partly sunny in lovely Fowler, Indiana, which is where I get my... Oh, no, that's actually straight from Earl Park, which means with the humidity, we are probably at a feels-like temperature of 95, 107, somewhere in there, depending on the wind. Happy Monday, all from the rock and roll art goddess herself. Her blessings be upon us. Kat, I love you, dear. Never underestimate how glorious you are. Even if situations have limited you for a time and stress is going on and you've got all the healing you're trying to do, you are a wonder on this earth. Never forget it. Hi, Kat. Hi, Churro. Hi, Kat. Greetings, all I missed. Inigo has lost the battle of Sleepies. Oh, I envy him. Hi, Foxy. Cat. Dawn. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Woof! Greetings, greetings. Woof, woof. Accountability. Working on an art supply order for my school. Oh. There are things that I appreciated back then, and I appreciate now. Being a student and being able to walk into an art room, especially in like an art club scenario, where it's like, here, there is stuff. Have fun. Blessings upon the teachers who acquire all that. I think it's fun. And we've got more greetings. And Donna handed me J. Michael Straczynski's book, Becoming a Writer, Staying a Writer. For me, the struggle is at least staying a writer. I quit once a week at least. Oh, that's fine. I quit all the time. F this stuff, I'm out. But, the yawn is upon me. Oh, wow. Hold on. This stretch has me. It does not let it go. Ooh. I stretched so hard like my lower back and hip popped. Yes. Friend once spent half an hour proving that one can carry out an entire conversation just using the word dude in various inflections. It was very interesting. I am as a West Coast born individual, I am fully qualified to speak the language of the dude. Dude is indeed the second most versatile word in the English language. And if one uses the accepted first most versatile word in the English language, which I'm sure most of you can guess, in conjunction with dude, a dialect of glory is formed. But yes, it is very entertaining. Oh well, been in that conversation. I've been in conversations made up of what? Yep, there we are. Okay, I needed that little sign. Thanks, Nick. Anytime, Churro. All the love in the world. Seriously. Ha! I mowed yesterday, so the neighbor is mowing this morning. Can't let your place look better than theirs. Nope. Dude of the Rings! Greetings and hallucinations. You're in the right place for both. Those type are fun to mess with. Hey, dude. Churro, I'm loving the greetings from dude. Hello! Hey, dude. Dude, 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 dude. Dude, 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 dude. Dude, 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 dude. Anyway, yes, I did just take hey, dude, and use the word dude to vaguely approximate the melody from the Beatles, Hey Jude. Industrial language. Yes, I'm fluent in that one. One chapter of the next book is breakdown of someone having a nervous breakdown. Someone counted every sentence, every instance of my favorite four-letter word to drop in that monologue. Morning, duder. Ooh, can I be a hallucination? Foxy! My dear, hold on. Just now, wait a second. Foxy. I have no doubt you have been a glorious and inspirational hallucination for far more than you'd ever imagine. So, yes. Dude, meaning how's it going? The dude abides. And now I have to watch that movie again. Beat me to it, cat. Apparently, I was last in on this instead of my main account. It happens, and we appreciate it. Thank you, dude. You know why. Indeed. Hello? There were several instances that said the character was bipolar, overworked, and off her meds unintentionally. Been there. And wow, this character sounds like a lot like me. The opposite of imposter syndrome? Get her done! If I'm not first, I'm last. You know? Hello! And now you know if your sound balancing is doing at all well. Hello, Mr. Grant. Hey, Grant. Oh, God. She speaks my language. I just dropped in to see what condition my condition was in. The condition is can I go with Caddy for this? Can I do this? I think Caddy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you must be. But my life, my love, and my lady is working on TV. No, wow, we're going obscure. It was something I once witnessed, Foxy, art imitating life. And I figured I'd pop in. Thank you, Indie CD. You are one of my favorite people, and I hope you know it. I've seen many people like that. Coffee time. Greetings. I can do a better job. Okay, Sparky, clock the bleep in. Your shift started an hour ago. Let's kick the tires and light the fires. Good morning to all the folks that have been over here in the chat since I actually got over here. Hi, Joe, and happy late birthday. Morning, Joe. Hey, Mr. Grantfire. Hi, Joe. Hey, Joe. Everyone knows that if you haven't checked out League of Cryptids, you should check it out. The Kickstarter for League of Cryptids. Frogs Go to Loveland. And every time I read Loveland, my brain tries to turn it into Loveless, and I see Kenneth Branagh in a steampunk wheelchair hanging off the side of a mechanized spider going, I am so torn between my absolute hatred of you and my absolute love and desire of continuing my own life. Oh, God. Was that a horrible movie? Absolutely. Could I sit and watch it any day of the week? You have got it. Understood, Joe. Nick had the meats. Oh, it was glorious. Corned beef and sauerkraut on pumpernickel with Thousand Island and provolone cheese. Or Swiss. Swiss is good too. My soul is made light by this glorious inhalation of food. And we've got a bot named Sammy. Hey, bot named Sammy. No, I don't pay for what you jiggets. But feel free to subscribe to my channel. Oh, why? That's interesting. Goodbye. There we go. Thanks to Trey and Dawn, I have an idea for a new shirt on Bonfire site. An orange cat sitting on a Roomba that just says, ask me about Jeff! Wait. Sitting on a Roomba. Making a Roomba into a chair. Does that mean that it's time?
It's time to scan, that is the plan, with Carl and Dawn to catch a fawn or unicorn. We're so forlorn, we got a cap, so here's our rep. Munsey, we want to Munsey, because we want some points and funny badges with our modern cell phone gadgets. Munsey, we've got to Munsey. Download that app and help us cap, and you can play it too. Munsey is good exercise, good for your heart and for your thighs. Dawn is such a lovely lass. Come on, Dawn, get off your chair. Munsey, we want to Munsey, because we want some points and funny badges with our modern cell phone gadgets. Munsey, we got to Munsey. Download that app and help us cap, and you can play it too.
I'm sitting here listening to that in near like DJ. You can play it too. Darude Sandstorm crossed with the Munsey song? Anyway, Churro says, my baby Sue, how do you do? Who's, whoa, no, I go over here. Whose Jig's much smaller brother was sleeping on my bed and I didn't see him. Poor thing just got grabbed because I didn't see him. He's fine though. Okay. Laying there purring like nothing happened. Okay, well, I'm glad. I'd be willing to donate a pic of George to use or reference. Thank you, Dawn. We also know folks to draw. Loving the AI hate, it heals my soul. Now, once again, I want to remind yourselves, brothers and sisters, it will not be long before the AI powered individuals will be joining us on the picket lines against the mistreatment of the workers. And unto them, I'll give my support. However, to the systems of and abuse that operate on thievery and sloth, which tries to steal work from the good, hardworking creatives, may they all have the day that they deserve. Let's rock. Eek. I can Photoshop. I know way too many millennials who would. Well, sure. Why not? That's the horrible thing. Like, hold on. If we step out of the moral scope and the idea of working for what you love and things, I type a prompt and ask pretty please, and I get something far beyond my capacities at the time to create in a style I can't. Worse, the emulated style of others. That is a temptation upon the soul, but creatives do not fall for it. Man, I had to catch myself. I felt fire and brimstone rising up to speak. Rising up to meet the challenge of our rivals, my friends. Do not fall into the trap of temptation that the vile AI gives. If you wish to write, type it your dang self. For a flawed and error-ridden paper is infinitely of more value than the garbage generated by stolen art and lazy individuals. Every stickman more holy than the foulest conglomeration of pixels brought about by such Woo, woo. Catching myself. I'm catching myself. I felt the fire get a little too hot, and I'm not turning into that. I'd be there all day. And Dawn says, "Yay, Xander, a man after my own heart." So, Carl, what does the Dawn conjuring pose look like? Think about it. Dream about it. That is the way. There are those of us who abhor it as well. I used to be much heavier before my little episode in 2022. I don't think you knew me back then, so I 100% feel that. I knew of you, kiddo. Hi, Xander. Dawn says hi. Churro says hi. Sorry. Carl says, sorry, I was in La La Land. The conjuring pose is like an old Houdini poster with hands extended out and a look of concentration. Hold on, I'll do that right. And Foxy says hi, Xander, and Kat says hi, Xander, and Don says, my babies. And Trey says hi, Xander, and time to hydrate. My bottle is empty. Secondary source. Wooch. That caffeine goes straight to my brain cells. Insane in the membrane. Pinky Wiggles. Nick, green room, that one. Indeed. Anything can be green room if you're creative enough, which I'm sure all of you are. The ground in which you are growing is incredibly well fertilized. Yep. Yes, we are. Whether this is a good thing or not. Hey, Ruth, how are you doing? Sorry if this has been an odd and passionate one. I grew up watching the Dean Martin Celebrity Roast. I was trained in green rooming. Yes. Patty cake with Wolverine. That's a mental image. Ow! 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 Being annoying is a wonderful talent of mine. You gotta use what you got. Accountability. Apparently I lost 4-inch length of full Persian 6-in-1. This is going to be a collar for Bella. So yeah, I have to start over. I'm going to assume Bella is your small dog. Oh no, the one you started Saturday night? Oops, you'll find it when you don't need it anymore. I started a few days ago before that, and I was working on it. Yes, coffee in the wrong tube. Ugh! Oops, I'm sorry. I do that sometimes. Stuff's too thick to breathe. I'd like to... I can speak the English language. I am an author and a YouTuber. I can speak the English language every day, though I face plant frequently. Okay, I'd like to clarify. I was more asking if we'd crash straight into force or if I could potentially try to. It was more of a question. Oh, I know exactly, dear, and I'm just having fun with it. Never take it poorly. If you think I'm saying something negative, I probably didn't. Because if I'm actually being negative, the world knows I am not a subtle man. Made several investments this weekend for side hustles. Rock on! And yes, I am aware I need to do some things like that myself on some specific projects. A mental image about Joey I didn't think I ever wanted to have. No offense, Joey. Well, too bad. LOL. Speaking of which, Nick, when the UV printer comes in, you and I need to talk for more merch on your con tables. Absolutely, sir. None taken, Dawn. I don't want that mental image of me either. Well, Dawn, Joe did send that picture of lace high-vis vests that one time. Try again, Dawn. Dude. I got an unexpected mail delivery yesterday. It seems that I now own a welder. Sometimes I worry about my lips. Welders are awesome. I own one too. I just haven't had an opportunity to use welding without it being 1,000,000 degrees. I remember you talking about a welder in the green room. I have no idea what you're talking about, dog. I am innocent. I am pure as the new fallen snow. I am as cool as a cucumber and a mint julep as we sip it on the veranda overlooking the field. Nope. Dan, you ordered it during a show while snoozing and possibly discussing World War II. If you know, you know. I expect so. While Dan trained me to use a welder, I don't have anything that needs welding at the moment. 'Tis better to have a welder and not need it than need a welder and not have it. And now a random
From author Brian K. Morris comes a tale of irreverent holiday horror, told with much inappropriate humor. Dr. Victor Frankenstein creates the spirit of giving himself. Ho, ho, ho! Santastine, or the post-holiday Prometheus. Available at Amazon.com. Get your copy today.
Now. Oh, dear Lord. That was great, Rich. Oh, geez. Nope. No. Nah to the nah. That's amazing. Oh, my goddess. It was a... Oh, my goodness. I forgot what group I was in for a moment. It was a memorable experience. I need to buy some time with something. There we go. And Single-Minded Temple, another good name, is trying to get me to do stuff I won't do. Well, I suppose we should feed the kitties and see if Donna still wants to go out in the heat. Along with my sister, mother, and niece. Y'all, feel free to picture that. And understand that you're welcome to nearly having access to that picture, because arrangements can very much be made. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting messages again. Hey, Chris, did see you come in. At this rate, we're going to be after you feed the kitties. That's possible. Been in listening mode. It said hi around the 30-minute mark and somewhere in that area. Foxy, I have insomnia. To have meds for it, I don't sleep. I make sure I have my meds because sleep is good. I must admit, I do love the concept of sleep, but I can't take things that would encourage it. Sleep is wonderful. You can get good sleep and enough of it. Kat entered the podcast. We have been graced with her presence. All righty then. That was a good stretch. It really was. I like being half asleep, so my body is technically rested, but my brain is like, wee. Fun. Hi, Chris. Thanks. And yes, if you've noticed the thing on my lip, during the fall, I caught a really great fat lip, and it's leaving its mark. Oh, and I'm also investing in the equipment I need to start making my own jump rings. Rock on. And Kat says, I'd much rather have an art classroom charge card than have to make an Amazon wish list that's due tomorrow. You deserve so much more than that. I can imagine so, Kat. Sure! Oh, God, Nick, speaking like a pastor from a mega church is something I could never... My sister and us, fear not, for we are gathered here today to entertain and elevate, to rise up above the burdens of our rivals. No, dear Churro, it is a good and beautiful day for us to ascend to greatness. Let your dice roll, let your characters go, and let the caffeinated beverage flow, my sister in dice. I jest about the technique, but never the subject matter. Carl said chair. Hello, cat. Oh, for more accountability. Stared at a blank doc for several hours how to figure out my intro and front matter for Things That Go Bump in the Light, Volume 1. Ooh. The Dawn contrapose is extremely Ace Attorney coded. Yes, I do not objection! Hydrate again. Been a little bit, I just did. Well fertilized? Yes, it is full of bold. Ruth? Hello! Chris has got to get going. Have a great start before the week. See you, Chris. Great day. Stay hydrated, Chris. AC is activated. Life support online. Temperature outside is 95 degrees Fahrenheit and rising. The temp of the attic of the house is rising. Systems are holding for now. I had trouble with words during my last puzzle stream. Words are hard. Indeed. Accountability, catching up stuff on work. Still working on Indie City, doing more paracord. The usual. I also have multiple meetings this week, but there will still be an Indie CD play on Wednesday, and yes, I will be there. Rock on! Rock on! Woo! And this is why I need to get rid of headphones for listening to this show. That hurt. I am sorry, Joseph. Poor Joe. And we have reached the end of the chat, so I'm going to run a couple ads. I'm going to wrap this up so that I can go get some lunch because I am hungry. So let's run some ads.
Welcome, friends. I'm Belated Thesis, and this is my TS. Come join me every Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time as we discuss Chinese culture, history, philosophy, and of course, martial arts. You can find me at youtube.com/BLADETH3SIS. Pull up a chair, grab a cup of tea, or the drink of your choice, and join the discussion.
And I need to do this. I'm still here. It's just easier to watch this. Okay, we need to be back for a minute because great broadcasting tip. It's much easier to be seen on YouTube when you're streaming if you turn your camera back on. Now, my friend, dear friend of the show, Robin Yoda, whom we all love, she's one of our favorite bunnies, has started some new streams, and they're really fun. I caught pieces of it. I just was very busy at the time. You should check them out.
Hi, bunnies. This is Robin Yoda, just wanting to let you know I have a Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/Robin Yoda. You can catch me there Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific playing Stardew Valley, Saturdays at 2 p.m. playing The Sims 4, and Sundays at 10 a.m. Pacific playing a random game from my Game Pass library. You can also find me Mondays on my YouTube channel, Robin Yoda the Lilac Bunny. I hope to see you all there. Thanks for watching.
And there is the update. We're going to go through the...
Welcome, welcome, bunnies. It's Robin Yoda. My Twitch stream has changed. I'm playing Saturdays and Sundays at 2 p.m. If there's any schedule change, I'll let you know by posting on X, Blue Sky, and sometimes Facebook. You can follow all my socials, Robin Yoda the Lilac Bunny, and sign up for my YouTube channel. It's also Robin Yoda the Lilac Bunny, where I repost all of my streams. So come join me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Robin Yoda for some awesome streams. And once again, thanks for watching.
All right, thanks for having us. And there's, of course, one after one because I run it every day.
Hi, this is Kat. During the school year, I'm Mrs. Rothermel. But otherwise, I'm Rock and Roll Art Goddess, writing about my past and filming the present. I need you to join my rock and roll art army and to check out my merch on Zazzle.com. What started out as journal therapy is now 4 books, I see, and an Instagram account to blow off steam, becoming a book, with another to do the same. A short film for a friend. No, this is not the end. Peace, love, and let me art.
I'm all about you guys, letting you guys art. I'm all about encouraging and motivating. I come off spicy sometimes because I am deeply frustrated. I have a talent, a gift, a curse, if you will, to recognize the greatness in others, to see what they may not be able to see. And occasionally, if luck is at my side, nudge them just a few degrees towards reaching out and manifesting and making that potential a reality. It is something I delight in. But it isn't possible if you don't take that step, if you don't have the courage and mental fortitude to stop and say, yeah, I have a story. I'm writing it. I'm putting it out there. And then actually do so. Because without that courage to take that step, to rise above the people who lie and tell us that we are less than what we are and what we can be, we will never prove them wrong. If you will not act out of self-benefit, if you will not act out of good to the world, my dearest and most beloved viewers, act out of spite. If I cannot elicit and empower your better natures for your benefit, I am then forced, begrudgingly, to reach out to your darker nature and say this: these cretins, these insects in human flesh, these expressions, avatars of the dreams of maggots, walk around the world harmless, aimlessly, idiotically attempting to spread sadness, to pull people down so that they may feel elevated. And the way we defeat them is not through simple, direct engagement, as tempting as it is. We defeat them by rebuffing them, by rebuking them, by showing the proof, the evidence, the pen and paper, the print, and going, your words fall and crumble to ash at my ear and never touch my heart. Your power is that of a gnat to influence anything. And you take your bona fides and you hold them up like the badge that it is the sign that I have done. Where are yours? And then you put it away. I'm making less than $20 this month on my Amazon book sales. It's been a little slow. I'm sitting around 15. The day's not over, but I check. And you know what I can do? Just for amusement, one moment. I want to show you guys something before I close this up. Boom. We're going to use some superpowers. Okay? I'm going to do this. Give me a second. Because I want to show you exactly how it's done. Boom. This month I have made $15.32, 5 orders. And I've had 256 pages read. Okay? In the last 30 days. Financially, it is a pittance. It is. It is not my best month by far. It's one of my slower months. But here's the catch. This month, with no additional action other than me doing my shows like that I do anyway, I made online sales, and I made them, hold on, just in, let me bring this back up, at least 4 countries. You get that? At least 4 countries. I would not have that had I not put the book out, published it, and promoted it. Now, there are people who say, that is nothing. That's barely a lunch. To which I say, no, it is not nothing. It is proof of concept. Now I'm working on it. I'm changing. I'm doing different things. But millions of people dream of writing. Millions of people dream of doing art. I can make money with my art. Hundreds of thousands actually make an effort. Tens of thousands might come up with a result. Only thousands, proportionately, do something to publish it. And of them, only so many make a cent. Do not let comparative thinking dilute the value in what you do. Okay? And don't let anybody who isn't willing to put their bona fides on the table right now critique you. Only accept critique from people you would go to for advice. and surround yourself with people who are better than you, smarter, more experienced, more charismatic. Find the best group of people you can and humbly ensconce yourself and learn from them. Be of service. Stay humble, stay hungry, stay observant, but stay active. Keep doing it. Now, guys, keep writing, keep drawing, keep creating, because if you do, you can edit it, you can improve it, you can sell it, but you cannot edit a blank page. And Joe, you know what I mean. I love you, and I mean it. Everyone in the chat, everyone watching this, everyone who stumbles upon this channel at some point in the future, I genuinely love you and want the best for you, even if I don't know you, because I can. You should too. Love yourself, folks. With that, I got to go make some food. I got to go take care of some business. And I need... I'm going to stop. I need to do some stuff. Dan says, Nick, I've made less than 400 in my entire lifetime of band account. Many years, 9 albums. I get to see my accountant declare my royalties off of books or music on my IRS forms. We need to promote that. We need to do something about that. But not creating hurts more than creating. Indeed. Indeed. Carl, you did just get back in time. And food is good. With that, folks, Toodles, kick this week's butt.